Hello everyone, this is the fourth episode of my 2026 Portfolio Challenge series. I wanted to start by showing up front how much each portfolio is doing and comparing them to the S&P 500 year to date, so from the beginning of the year. Currently, all of my portfolios are beating the S&P 500. As you can tell, all of them are above 2% and two of them are almost 3%, with the meme stock portfolio being at almost 8%, while the S&P 500 is at under 0.5%. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This is all done on a paper trading account and these are all simulated trades with no real capital at risk. So for today's itinerary, we're going to go over the portfolio's performance earlier because last time it was too late. And then I wanted to give a small lesson / clarify what a covered call is and what a cash secured put is. CSP is cash secured put. Then we're going to go talk about getting Celsius called away this week. I got 100 shares of Celsius called away and I had a big jump from 17.5 on my cash secured put for Rivian down to 16 because I had a good value for that. I sold Micron on my 2026 main portfolio and my value portfolio at $389. That's below my $400 value and below what it ended up finishing on Friday, but I was very comfortable selling at $389, so that's what I did. I got in my meme stock portfolio, I got GameStop called away, and so I'm going to talk about what's next with that. And then there's three stocks I'll probably be buying this week, my choice value and my 2026 portfolio, which is TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, FUTU, which is Future Holdings, which is the parent company of Moomoo, which is basically the Asian Robinhood, and Novo Nordisk. So let's go over the 2026 main portfolio first. As you can see, I sold Micron and I sold 100 shares of, 100 shares of Celsius, so this was much higher. And so now I've got $15,500 in cash, which is 15% of my portfolio. I'll probably be allocating almost all of that this week into three stocks I just talked about. And then here's the performance so far of the portfolio, my profits and losses on every single stock, including those I sold. You can see that Micron is at almost $2,000 gained. Costco, I'll probably be selling that this week if it continues as it's going. It almost hit my value. It's at like 980 and my value is at 1,000. We'll go for Celsius. Celsius, it's been in and out with that, so I'm happy to see that that's up nicely. ELF, I could have been up more, around $200 more. That the options, I misplayed that one. And then the rest of them are, basically break even. I don't count any of this as much. This is a small move every day. And notably, I bought Cinemark this week, which is down currently, and Rivian, which is just my options on Rivian. That's already down minus 380, which is pretty big for just playing two options, cash secured puts. And then Adobe is down big, and Robinhood is obviously down big, and we've already talked about that. I'm not in Robinhood for the gains. I'm in Robinhood to sell covered calls. And then for the deep value portfolio, I am not playing options on this at all. Ford is the only one I sold here, and Fiserv is the one that I misbought accidentally, but I tried to buy Ford and I bought Fiserv. So I bought and sold really quickly. I accidentally made $13 on that. Not a lot. PayPal's down pretty bad. And then for my choice value portfolio, you can see the cash is huge this week because I sold Micron, and I already had quite a bit of cash in it. So I'll also be adding probably, I haven't decided on the stocks this week, but Novo Nordisk is almost certainly going in this, and I'll decide between Futu and TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors. Here's what I earned on this so far. Lulu, I actually might exit Lulu. I'm not super high on this stock. The math likes Lulu, but me personally, I'm not sure I like it very much. Adobe, we talked about this previously. I'm still bullish on it. So Celsius here, I didn't get this called away. This is still in play. And Micron, I sold at a very, very big gain for this portfolio. And there's nothing about the meme stock. One, because that was only GameStop so far, which is kind of funny to make a bar graph on a single stock. But that one made around almost $8,000. So now let's talk about what is a covered call. I don't think I described this properly ever. My example is Celsius, which is a stock well familiar with, since I've been having a lot of issues with it. So currently, let's say I can buy Celsius at 56. And then I can sell a covered call, which is basically me putting on a limit sell at the strike price of 57. So if it closes the following week above 57, then I sell it at 57. It's as if I just sold it when it crossed 57. Now for me to make that, it's not a bet, but for me to say that I'm going to sell it at 57, I can collect $25 up front for that. Okay, so If it's above 57, if Celsius is at 60, I can still only sell it at 57, but I collected $25 and I made the gain from 56 to 57. Now, if it's below, this would be, I don't know where that 2 came from. This would be 57. If it's below 57, I keep that $25 and I can just continue replacing that limit order every single week. Now, this is the same thing with cash secured puts. That's basically a limit buy, which I get money for saying I'm going to buy it at a lower price. I'll show that on Rivian in a second, and I'll show you this in live on Thinkorswim in a second. So I like covered calls for stocks that I think are consolidating and they're undervalued, so I expect they'll rise, and usually these stocks can make around 1% on your cash per week, which is really good. And this graph just shows like we buy it around here, 56, the strike price is 57, so if the stock price goes, to the right, which is higher, I'm not going to be getting anything more than the 57. But if it goes lower, then I hold the stock, so it's going to be going lower. So that's the price at expiration, and that's what a covered call looks like. With the risk for this being that you miss out on upside, but you do get money you do get to collect money for holding the stock. So I want to take a quick look at this on Thinkorswim really fast. So we'll go to Celsius just to give real numbers. CELH. Okay, so yeah, it's almost at 56. So this is where it closed on Friday. And this has been frozen since Friday, obviously, because the market has been open. So these are all the real values. So let's say we bought on Friday, and then we want to say that we're going to sell it at, I don't know, let's say $58, right? So I can collect $49. This 0.49 is per stock, but you need 100 stocks in order to do a covered call. So you multiply by 100. So I can get $49 for saying I'll sell Celsius at $58, which is great, unless what happened, which is what happened earlier, which is Celsius just jumped to 62, something like that. And then I get the FOMO, fear of missing out, for being at only $58, which is an issue. Okay, so there's that. And then I want to talk about the Rivian with the cash secured puts. So this week I moved my cash secured puts. Oh, it already took it away. I moved it from my 17.5, which is what I had, meaning I wanted to buy it at 17.5. And there was a huge value to jump down to 16, which is, that's $1.50 that I gain because I'm not holding the stock yet. And I think it cost around 80 cents to do that jump. So I gained $1.50 and it cost me 80 cents. So I profited 70 cents from that. I talked about this last week. We'll see if it drops below 14, I will be buying Rivian. This is not a value play because it has no value technically in my book because no income, but I do like the cars. I like their Amazon deals, and their R2 and R3 are coming out later this year. So I'm pretty bullish on that. Under 14 is a good buy zone for me. Okay, so let's talk about a few of the stocks that I'll be buying this week. So Taiwan Semiconductors, my fair value is at 428, and they are by far the best at what they do in the world. And they make the silicone chips for the companies of NVIDIA, Google, Intel. Even Intel, which used to produce their own chips, is now going through Taiwan Semiconductors, TSMC. So they're the best at what they do. And even if Google, for instance, with their TPUs just produced fantastic results for AI training, even if their TPUs are now going to completely replace NVIDIA's GPUs, TSM is still going to profit from that. Whereas if I had my money in Google or in NVIDIA, they're competing for the same market. And the big risk for this one is China attacking Taiwan, which if that happens, they can hit one of the buildings. It can destabilize the region, and TSMC might even be barred from selling chips to American companies if China so chooses to do so with leverage over the US, with all that's happening right now. So my fair value is that if China takes it, which it currently has a 16% chance of happening this year, according to Polymarket, if China takes it, I think the value will drop to 100. I hope I'm wrong. It might be significantly more, but this is a worst case scenario. And then there's an 84% chance of it reaching my value, I think. My value in my eyes, it has a 100% chance of happening. Otherwise, it wouldn't be my value. So my expected value for this stock is $375. And now let's check what other analysts are looking at. So TSM, I'll also open it up here. TSM. So what did I say? I said 428, I think. Yeah, 428. So I am right in between the average and the high area. I'm perfectly fine with this. They are growing phenomenally, 30% almost every quarter over the past year. We can look at trailing 12 months too. This is amazing growth. This is phenomenal, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. Now, these numbers are huge. This is in Taiwanese dollars. So you need to convert that if you're going to do value, because The market cap, 1.45 trillion, that's in US dollars. So just remember you need to convert that if you want to go over this yourself. But their balance sheet everything's amazing. They've got positive cash. They've got amazing revenue, amazing income, amazing margins. This is crazy. So, they're at 334. I see a 25% upside easily, unless something insane happens. Let's see how they've been. Yeah, they're just a great company right now. Yeah, I'm very happy with this company, and so I will be investing in them, both in this and in my real life, by the way. So that's TSM. And then we can go to Future, which is, so this got on my radar by accident, actually. I was reading about Moomoo, which is basically the Robinhood for Asia. Robinhood is in the brokerage for the Asian market, and it's just been growing and growing. And so I'm not sure what to do with this because I don't usually value companies that grow this fast. So my equation puts it at 400. I can see it rising up to 400 just to put this into perspective. Yeah, Future Holdings. It's at 161 right now. So I'm looking at a 250% gain for this stock. I know that's crazy. It's significantly more than what everybody else is calling for. Significantly more. But that's what my math is saying. It seems like everybody likes this as a buy-in. Even, the consensus over here is 30% over analysts. And these financials are in Hong Kong dollars. But just look at this growth. Just look at this absolutely insane growth. So this is roughly where they start getting a bunch of customers. They've just been ramping it up. This is Palantir level growth. And they're very profitable when they do it too. I mean, 19K, and that's what, 2/3? 66% profit. So I don't even know how to value this personally. Their forward PE based on Wall Street is 11, and their PE ratio is at 18, which is very low for this type of stock. It should be at like 30, I think. So with the forward PE at 11, yeah, I mean, 250%, that sounds insane. That's what the math says. I can see it happening. And yeah, they're just expanding. I think they're the biggest in Singapore and Vietnam and Thailand. They're absolutely insane. Generating revenue per funded account roughly 6 times that of a Robinhood. Yeah, see, it's crazy. They also do a lot of crypto. Let's see where they are on the overall map. So they've been higher previously. Now this was before they were positive income. They've got their earnings coming up in about a month and a half. I'm once again excited for this stock. I like it a lot. So that's Futu. And then we'll go to NVO here just so we can look at it. Novo Nordisk, which is a very popular company. They're the ones that make GLP-1, I think it's called, the weight loss drug. And they just, I think, got it into a pill form. Novo Nordisk, this one is just getting started. Yeah, GLP-1 and Wegovy's pill, which is the GLP-1 pill instead of getting the shot, which should be cheaper and easier. I mean, already their PE ratio is undervalued in my opinion, with their forward PE at 18.62. Their financials, they're growing at a 20. This was a weak quarter, I think, but they're going to be jumping up to 20 again, 25, 20. So, I mean, at minimum, that's what their PE should be, I think. The forward PE at 18.62. That's very low for me. Analysts say hold. What did I put my value at? Yeah, my value's at 90. They're very profitable. They're growing very fast. Huge weight loss drug. Also very excited for this one. I'll probably put this weighted down compared to the other two that I just talked about, TSM and Futu. We'll see. For the value, they'll probably be pretty equal at 9,000 because that's what I generally like to put in the value portfolio. But in the main one, I might just go, I've got 15,500 cash, 4,500 on Novo Nordisk, and then with the rest of them, 5,500 each. I'll go on the other two. Oh, I also wanted to talk about what I'm going to do with my meme stock portfolio. So the meme stock one, my GameStop got all called away except for this small share. So what happened this week? Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, he decided he was going to buy 500,000 shares, $10 million. Was this? So Tuesday and Wednesday after market, Cohen bought 500,000 shares each. So 1 million total shares, almost $22 million, $21 million, which brought a lot of hype back, and it jumped up to 23. I had my covered call at 21.5, and as I said, it limits my upside. I tried to roll it higher. So I sold at 21.5 on a huge move to 23. I expect this to run, actually, but I will not be buying back. I am not going to chase it at 23. There's better things to do with the money. So what I think I'll do with the money, I think I'll sell cash secured puts on Hood. I don't want to risk the money I've already made. I like Hood. It's got a bottom here at around 102, 101, and their earnings are in 2 weeks. So I think it's going to consolidate here. It's going to just basically go flat, maybe up and down a little bit. But I think it's going to go flat, and even with all this flatness, with the low volatility that I expect is going to be coming, you can get, I'll open it right here. Currently it's at 107. Yeah, you can get the cash secured put side right here. So the 20 delta is $84, and this is almost exactly 107. So yeah, that's 1,000 shares. So we can get 10 calls. So 840. I'll probably get a fill at, well, it'll be Monday, so 800. So $800 for not doing anything at a 101. I'll be very happy to hold Robinhood at 101 until their earnings at least. And either by then we'll know if GameStop continues to run or it won't, and we'll also know if Rivian also holds the 14-15 area or it won't. Those are my two other memes. My meme stocks. Tesla, I'm too scared to go into Tesla right now. That stock is crazy. But I think I know Robinhood a bit. I've seen its movements for a few weeks now, a few months actually now. I'll be very surprised if it drops under 101. So I'll just collect $800 in premium this week and next week probably. And then we'll see what I do with the earnings week itself. If I can get $2,000 on that earnings week, just using the cash secured put, I'll be very happy. So we'll see. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. Good luck to us all. So far, it's been a great year. Good luck to us all. And I'll see you guys next week.